Hello friends, and welcome to the Handyman Devlog. And I know the question that's on all of your minds. Did I accidentally turn our newest character Jess into a Cylon, just attempting to capture the footage for that opening you just watched? And no, I definitely did not. But let's say I had, and this is a major spoiler for day 11, but Jess is in fact not a Cylon, but a human. So if I had, then I should probably fix that before going much further. While I was trying to get that shot of the Dean reading, on my initial attempt I accidentally hit a key that auto-completes the day for me, which normally would be fine, but in this case it added Jess to my save file. But I never actually set all of Jess's basic data up, like her outfit, hair, and makeup. I just need to get that basic data set up for her so when the game goes to read my save file, there's stuff for it to load in. In addition to the outfit, hair, and makeup, I also need to set her default hair and eye color at this point. And you may have noticed that I said eye color, and that Jess has heterochromia, which means she has two eye colors. So here's a keen insight into how I do things. I set a system in place, like for instance the ability to change character eye color. Then I decide to give a character two eye colors. And then I realize that doesn't work with the system I've set in place. And the next step is to figure that out later. Alright, so Jess is back to being human. And let's not make this the devlog where the cyborg mummy fixes the problems he creates while making the goddamn devlog. Alright, I think it's time to address a different issue. Dresses. Need I say more? Alright, I'll say a little more. The issue with dresses and skirts is trying to avoid them from clipping with the legs and also clipping with themselves. Pants are relatively easy to handle. You just map all the vertexes from a pant leg to match with that leg. Dresses and skirts, on the other hand, are a lot harder to deal with because of that center cloth hanging between the legs. In terms of weight painting the vertexes, you can kind of go two different extremes. On one end of the spectrum, you have all of the vertexes on the left side match up to the left leg, and all the vertexes on the right side match up to the right leg, and you have a very harsh cutoff in the middle. In my opinion, that doesn't really look that great, but you do avoid a lot of the clipping with the legs. The other end of the spectrum is you have a smooth gradient going from the left leg to the right leg. This does tend to look more natural and better in general, although you tend to have less control and a lot more clipping with the legs. My approach has been more or less to split the difference between the two, starting with that harsh cutoff and then easing that edge so it's not so harsh. Most of the time that works pretty well. The places we run into issue are when the legs are close together or crossed, especially with longer dresses. Which brings us back to our girl Jess. The combination of Jess's outfit and animations have forced me to attempt something that I've been thinking about for a while now. Adding some additional bones to control the dress to mitigate that push and pull from the leg bones. You can see I have two new bones here. One is directly between the knees and the other is directly between the thighs. The idea here is that these bones will be controlled by scripts in Unity, not by the animation. They will always be exactly in the middle of the knees or thighs, and they'll rotate left or right depending on the position of the legs. And now I can weight paint the vertexes in the middle of the skirt to these new bones, and I should get a better result. It definitely improves the performance of the dress. There's no longer the clipping at the bottom. It doesn't fix all issues. You can still get clipping depending on how extreme the poses get. But in general, I'm pleased with the result, and I've already added this to a new outfit for Chantel. Alright, so now it's just time to add those bones to all the existing dresses and skirts. Yeah, I'm not going to work on that right now. That's going to take a lot of time, and I feel like people probably would rather I work on day 11 than a bunch of existing outfits. Alright, and I guess now is as good a time as any to get into the questions that were sent in as part of the AMA, the Ask Me Anything. This first one comes from Sporkface, and Sporkface writes, "What the deal? Where day 11?" Well, thank you for your question, Sporkface. The answer is day 11 is in the works. It's in the oven, and it still needs some time to cook before it's ready for you all to enjoy. This next question is, when will day 11 be done? That comes from Get Good. So I am working on day 11 pretty much all the time at this point, and in the last devlog you saw I was working on one of the scenes, and I'll tell you, I've got that scene. As far as the animation, I'm pretty close to being done with that. I have a few more animations to go, and I think you guys are going to like it. But there will be several scenes, and I haven't started working on them yet. There's been a lot of work going into actually making this location, and as you can imagine, all that kind of stuff that goes along with having a totally new location in the game. Alright, next question. Is there going to be weird stuff? That comes from I Like Weird Stuff. Probably. There's a good chance you're going to see some weird stuff. If you've seen weird stuff in the past, you're probably going to see some weird stuff in this day 11. All right, and JMac44 writes, "Can I smash Dean?" Well, probably not. Probably not. I'm not sure why you'd want to smash her. She seems like a very nice person, but I do not think there will be any Dean smashing in day 11. Then we have a question: How soon till day 11? And that's also from Get Good. See previous answer. Then we have: Does Jess have any conspiracy theories about the Dean? And that comes from Asking for a Friend. That's actually an interesting question. It's an odd question, but an interesting question, and I'm going to say that there's a good chance that Jess might have a conspiracy theory about the Dean. All right, and one more question here. What's the difference if Sonam is the Dean's assistant versus Tanya? And that comes from Homer's Simp Son. There's going to be, pretty significant difference, I would say. I mean, it's not going to be... the day's not going to be completely different, but you're going to have some different interactions, and I think you'll appreciate the differences that we're going to see. In fact, how about we end this devlog on a montage of me adding things to the assistant's office that are for Tanya's version of the office. So with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Remember to like that smash button, ring the bells, and tell your grandmother I love her.